Hey, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of AngularAir. I'm your host, Justin Schwarzenberger, and today we are going to be talking NG Cruise. We got a ton of guests on the show today, as well as panelists, so let's meet them and get to business. So our panelists today, we've got Austin McDaniel. Austin, how's it going?
How's it going, everyone?
And we have Mike Brocky. Mike, what's going on?
Ahoy, not too much, just hanging out, ready to set sail.
All right, and then we've got a guest list, wanted to be a guest and a panelist.
Coolest, I think we agreed on.
Coolest? Okay. Coolest. Jeff Cross. Jeff, how's it going?
It's going good. Thanks for having me as a panelist and a guest.
All right. We make special exceptions, pretty much anytime you want it. Anyone wants it, so we're good to go. And our guest today, we got Tracy Lee.
Hi, everybody. How's it going? You can cruise with us. Love the shirts. Me and Broccoli are matching today.
They're both rocking the product. We got Joe Eames with us and from his sweet studio. Joe, how's it going?
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
And we got Gerard Sons joining us. How's it going, Gerard?
Very good. How are you?
Doing great. Doing great. Looking forward to summer already. Hoping that comes real soon. Not just for our NG cruise, but also for some nice weather.
Excellent.
All right. So NG cruise, for those viewers out there that don't know about it, why don't somebody give us a rundown of what NG cruise is all about? Oh, hey, wait a second. We've got another one joining us. Our panelist, Alyssa Nykel, joining us. Alyssa, how's it going?
Hey, hey.
Oh, we're matching. We got triplets happening. So good. I love it.
All right. So it's a party up in here. So let's start talking about NG Cruise. So who wants to give us a rundown on what it is?
I can do that. So NG Cruise is with an idea that sort of came about two different ways. One was the NGConf organizers have been talking about this for a while. And last year when I was at NGConf, I had just gotten back from a cruise and I thought, a cruise conference. And so when Joe and I figured out that both kind of had the same idea, we decided to partner on this and do NG Cruise presented by NGConf. So what you get is a cruise conference, so an actual conference on a boat, a lot of really amazing speakers, plus a lot of quality time together. So Joe and I have been really big supporters of this idea of non-traditional conferences, and we figure what better way to create community and have amazing conversations than being on a boat and checking out the Bahamas together.
Yeah, so when is this NG Cruise event and where's it going?
Well, it is on May 29th. It starts off in Miami, and it's going to Key West, Coco Cay, Nassau, and a few other places in the Bahamas. So it's about, I think, 4 days. So leave on Monday, come back on Friday. And then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and Thursday, there's going to be talks all along that. And I think Gerard, Joe, and I have all been thinking about like other cool ways to do things. So there's a lot of unconference sessions, a lot of workshops. I know a lot of people on this AngularAir are going to be giving a lot of the different workshops. And then also having more discussion-focused things. It's not going to be as huge as NGConf, which kind of allows us to get more creative with the programming. So that'll be cool.
Cool, yeah, so it's a little different, right, than a typical conference, because not only because it's on a cruise ship, right, but it kind of spans more days. Like you said, it has more the content delivered, but also the interaction, right?
Yes. Yeah, and I think also for most people, like, I mean, I'm going to be trying to have a party in Jeff Cross's room, for sure, with his beard. I don't know about you, but...
Yeah, we got the party suite where everyone's going to come every night for giant parties.
I don't know. I heard it was just Jeff Cross's beard that was invited,
That's right.
not Jeff Cross.
But I am escorting the beard, so I'll technically be there as well.
Jeff Cross
Did you have to buy 2 tickets for that?
Mhm.
Did you have to buy 2 tickets for your beard and you?
Yeah, I did. My beard was free. I had to pay for my own way though.
I thought that's why you shortened it up and tightened it a bit so that it wouldn't be as costly to bring the whole beard.
Yeah, I thought it was by weight, but after I talked to the manager of the ship, they said that no, it's just flat rate for beards. So, it is what it is. I'm going to send the receipts to Tracy anyway for reimbursement, as well as for the whole party suite that I booked without asking her. So it should all be fine.
One thing that I actually found interesting is once we decided to do the conference on this cruise, we realized that Royal Caribbean is actually, they just launched their entire booking platform on Angular 2. So the Royal Caribbean cruise ship team is going to be there. But it's kind of insane, right, to think about it. I think they've been using it since RC3 or something. So.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah, so cool. So tell me about the dynamics of
Totally.
guests going or attendees for this conference. Like, what does it mean to be on a cruise ship? Like, I've never been on a cruise ship myself, so I don't know the details of, you talk about this. Are we looking at bigger rooms? Like, I'm used to going to conferences. I stay at a hotel and do the conference in some convention center for 2 straight days. Probably eat some meals there and be done. So how's this different?
Joe, do you wanna answer that?
Well, you always have the best answers, but I can give it a shot. So, like, as an organizer of NGConf, I'm obviously very familiar with your traditional conferences and how we try to make a traditional conference feel traditional yet be, a little bit different. So with NG Cruise, right, we have so much more opportunity. For one thing, the cruise is 5 days long. Now, on a 5-day cruise, what you don't want to do is spend all 5 days in just the conference sessions, because then you're not enjoying the sunshine, the Bahamas, the excursions and things like that. Plus, there just isn't, there's times when people are going to be away. So what we've done is, like, you get a couple of hours here, and then there's maybe a couple hours later on in the day, and then the next day there's like 3 hours, and then there's an hour, and then the next day there's 2 hours, and then there's 2 more hours. So it's kind of spread out, which is totally different than any other conference. You don't go to a normal conference in a hotel and have something from 10 to 12, and then there's nothing again until 4 to 6, right? And in between 12 and 4, there's things to do. But on the cruise ship, you could be like that. You can have small packets of, hey, we're learning, and then time when you're free to either spend time on the ship or go off on one of the excursions in one of the ports. So I think that by itself, just that scheduling of the events makes this an entirely different kind of conference, because you're going to be really mixing sitting in sessions or having very focused discussions in like an open space with going out and either sitting on a deck and having an opportunity to speak with another attendee, or going out on an excursion and chatting with other attendees in a social setting, but still having the opportunity, of course, to talk tech while you're doing something more social.
I think that the 2 things that were, I think, most important to me is, number one, going on a cruise conference sounds more expensive than just going to a regular conference, but it's actually the same price, if not cheaper, because you don't have to do transportation. All of it's included. All your, like, fun, playing, whatever's included, all your food's included. So really you're just paying for the cruise, but it's either the same price or cheaper than if you book it at a regular conference, right? Like, usually the conference, whatever, you're spending, $200-300 a night, whereas the total of the cruise, I don't remember exactly how much it is, but it's definitely cheaper. And then I think the other misconception of cruises for some people who may not have been on it before is that, or maybe some people who have been on it, is that it's a complete party where everyone's getting drunk and wild. But as conference organizers, we've been very, like, even talking to a few females, like, oh my God, what if something happens on a cruise? Like, we're very strict about our code of conduct because this is presented by ngConf. Like, if anything bad happens, we definitely talk to other Angular crews or Angular conference organizers. And also, Royal Caribbean is not the type of ship where, you know, you're paying like whatever, $50 a night to go on a booze cruise down, you know, down California coast or something like that. It actually appeals to a little bit of an older demographic. And we've seen a lot of people who have booked recently actually bring their wives, also bring their kids. So there's totally opportunities to do that. And I think the other great part is, you know, if your wife comes or your girlfriend or your husband or anybody, like, there's all these activities that they can do. Like, there's a rock climbing wall on top of the ship, which I think is really amazing. And there's also this bungee thing. So, or they can just go on, you know, like, go on board.
Yeah, I'm speaking at NG Cruise, and I'm bringing my husband, and I'm hoping that the boat can convert him because he is an Ember fan. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah.
So there's another conference that I kind of like relate the cruise to just a little bit. It's called That Conference, and I've talked about it a bunch in some other podcasts that I've done at various times because I'm a big fan of it. But literally, that's the name, is That Conference. It's held in Wisconsin at this place called the Kalahari Resort, which is a huge indoor water park. And so for me, the cruise is the closest analogy to the cruise is this conference because, that conference, because I love going to that conference. Again, it sounds so weird to say it out loud. Because if I'm going and there's a session that I really am not interested in, the sessions are like 60 minutes long with a 30-minute break. So there's enough time. I'll go back to my hotel room. I'll change my bathing suit. I'll go hit some of those water slides and hit the water park for, you know, like 30, 45 minutes. Go back, dry off, change, and be back into the conference ready for the next session that now I actually want to see. So for me, that's one of the things that I just love about going to that conference is the fact that I can mix in opportunities to just relax and take time off with the education. And so for me, that's a big thing about what NG Cruise feels like is I get to mix in all the education and all the opportunities for me to make my career better along with time to just relax and put it together.
So I've got a question. One of my biggest go ahead, Brock.
Yeah, it was related. So with the time in between, it also gives you a chance to digest and even discuss the talk that you just saw rather than roll directly into another talk, to talk to other people about, hey, that's really cool. Oh, it may apply to this, and talk about other aspects of the talk that you just watched. You kind of in a social aspect or social environment as well, whether or not you're sitting around a pool, at a bar, or wherever.
Yeah,
So-
because this conference is smaller, we're actually going to be doing a lot of those types of sessions. Like, one thing we really believe is it's not just about presenting the talks, but it's also about giving a platform for communication and like community conversation. So in our programming, we have a JavaScript panel. And again, because the group is going to be a little bit smaller, it's going to be much easier to facilitate, like, you know, questions being asked from the group and things like that.
So my biggest question after I heard the cruise, I was like, this sounds like such a good idea. Why don't more people do this? And then I was like, how do you present this to your boss, right? Like, we have training budget, send me on a cruise, right? Like, how does that go over? And was that one of the considerations you guys kind of thought about when planning this?
I think Joe was definitely the one that led this and put together we actually have a how to convince your boss document.
So I think that one of the ways you can do that is you talk about the fact that, you know, our company has been sending our employees to conferences for the past years, and we do it all the time. We go there, and it's great. You digest this content, you get this chance to pick up on some new stuff coming out and things like that. You know, it's a place you want to be. But a lot of times we go and we're like, okay, it would be awesome if we could talk to somebody in more detail about the things that we're running into, right? And conferences have that opportunity because all these people are gathered in the one spot to be able to do that. And we're talking about now NG Cruise spanning 5 days, this break in between these things, like everybody was talking about, this opportunity to network and communicate with people, not only the speakers, but other people in the community. So now your team, if your company is sending your team, has the opportunity to interact with people and actually like ask questions. Hey, we're using the here and we're running into this. Can somebody talk me through some scenarios like this? Or you just presented on that. Can we talk a little bit more about the case that I have? And those opportunities are going to be there. And I think that's a big value addition for companies to send their employees to this.
And everybody's in one place. Like, you know how usually you have the conference hotel, and then you have other hotels. But then like always, for ngConf, for example, if you're staying in the conference hotel, you have a much better experience than if you're staying at another place, because that's where all the play and the fun is. So last ngConf, I was just luring people into a hotel room and doing podcasts with them. I was like, I think I came up with like 6 or 7 modern web podcasts at that time, but bonding with people like that was definitely great. Also, you have a lot of room and there's internet. So people were worried about internet. I recently went on the cruise, and once I realized that I could npm install and do like Google Hangouts for 5 hours, I was like, cruise internet has improved significantly. Like, it is totally fine to do a cruise conference, because that's the biggest concern, right? Like, how am I going to survive without internet?
You should have done Yarn.
That's true, but Yarn didn't exist at that time. So I'll have to change my ways.
And I think another aspect is that since it's a smaller conference, so you'll have less noise and more access to the speakers, and not just any speaker. So the list of speakers, if you scroll through the site, is amazing. There's a lot of talented and well-known people in the community to be able to get access to all those great people in a closed environment, that you'll have more access to talk to speakers who may not be busy with other activities, to be able to have those conversations, maybe even on one-on-one basis as well.
Like you can ask for feature requests for Angular CLI.
Well, actually, this is the appropriate forum to ask for CLI features, is AngularAir.
It's our stand-up with the CLI team.
No, actually, Mike has a special room key where he's not allowed to go into his room at all during the day. And so he can't run away from people who just want to corner him and ask him for CLI features and bug fixes all day. So that alone should be enough justification to go on the cruise.
I think that the way that they're managing that is that my wife is just going to take my room key away and say, all right, you go to the conference, I'm going to relax on the boat.
Yep.
We
So
do
is that
have a lot of...
something
Go ahead. Sorry.
So is that something we need to do to like prep our families, our spouses, significant others, if we want to bring them on this, that say like, look, okay, we're going on a cruise, you can join me, but like, I may not be around, so you may have to entertain yourself because I want to talk in Angular with all these people along with the sessions?
Well, I think it's very friendly, right? Like my boyfriend's going on the cruise, and his team actually does Angular, and they're going on the cruise too. And he says he's taking the day off, but really what's actually happening is that because we're actually part of a big group, we're all going to be having dinner together every day. So like that'll be really cool, right? We just basically have like a big like, you know, whatever, 10 tops, 6 tops or whatever of all the different people. So hopefully we get to have dinner with different people every day. I remember one time, the last cruise I went on, you know, I had dinner with different people because I never kept my timing. But I remember sitting by this one couple and thinking like, hell no, do I want to sit by these people again? We had to change our times. But hopefully that doesn't happen with anybody. I mean, I know Jeff Cross's beard is kind of freaky, and Gerard's beard is bigger than his, so you might be intimidated, but they'll be fine.
For now.
They'll be fine. Well, Broccoli, wait, where's your beard? Let me see. Who's
I actually need to shave.
No, a little bit smaller. So we can go in order of Joe, then Justin, then Mike. Alyssa, we're apparently not scary. We just have long, beautiful.
I've been working on mine.
Have you?
A lot of
Does it not
potential
make
there.
the ranking?
It's to get your boyfriend back from boyfriend or husband?
Husband from Ember. Yeah.
From Ember, yeah. I mean, he must like Angular too because it's so similar to Ember.
I've been trying. The problem is getting him to just accept anything with Angular flavor because he's like, you know what he says? He goes, yeah, but Ember's logo is better. And I'm like, I just can't even talk. Like, you can't base what framework you choose on a logo. And yet he's that kind of guy. So
I mean, I have to tell you
I don't know
that
if you guys have anybody like that in your life where you're like, really?
the Tomster logo, though, the cute little hamster, is totally what got me into JavaScript. Shockingly enough.
Plus, don't they dress that thing up based on where they're at and stuff? So, like, wasn't there just a conference in San Diego that had like the whole surf gear on it and everything?
Yeah, he's like almost as cool as Octocat with like his outfits. Yeah. You can't really do much with the shield, can you? I don't even know if it's a shield. Is it a shield?
It's a shield, for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shield. It's also the heroic framework, so I guess that makes sense that it's a shield. The superheroic framework.
Jeff,
Oh.
don't you have a cape? I know at least one of your kids has a cape.
Yeah, we've got.
Mine's on the wall behind me.
Yeah, I see. Alyssa's got the one on the wall behind her. We have that one, and we have some special sparkly one that somebody made. But yeah, so we're all set with the capes.
I threw a birthday party for Ben Lesh, and I told everybody it was a dress up party. So like Jeff brought his kids in a little cape, and like I dressed up in I copped out and wore a Power Ranger sweater. But then Hans, who works on an Angular CLI, he straight up came in. What was he dressed up as, Jeff? Like
one of the Incredibles, maybe some kind of like muscle costume.
him and his wife, full on. I was like, yes. But then he was like, wait, Tracy, you told me this was a costume party.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to know, like, because the first time I went to NGConf, I met Ward Bell, and I was like, I did not pack correctly for this conference. So I just need to know, like, do I pack, obviously the cape, right? But like, am I packing my Power Rangers outfit? Do we
Yes.
bring the My Little Pony stuff? Like, how crazy are we getting here, right? Like,
Yes.
yes.
Let's coordinate.
Just yes.
I guess the question is, will Ward Bell be on this cruise?
That's a really good question to ask. Yeah, because like I can't compete with that. I've tried. It's hard.
He has really cute outfits. I really love his outfits.
Well, he's been doing it for like a gazillion years. I mean, we've been going to Microsoft conferences forever and spotting Ward that they're doing his thing. And so I don't know. I mean, it's like running.
He told me, you guys know why he does the fancy outfits or like the crazy outfits? He told me like, I think it was like last year. I was like, okay, really, Ward, though. Why though? Like, why do you always got to show me up? And he was like, Alyssa, not everyone is outgoing as you. It's really, shocker. So I get people to break out of their shell and like talk to me or talk to others about me with my extravagant outfit. So he goes, if they're laughing with me or at me, he goes, it's still cultivating this atmosphere that I want to help create. And so I just loved how intentional it was. So.
That's so beautiful because it's like he's doing his part to help with the inclusivity of the community by wearing amazing outfits. What is my
Yep, I love it.
So with that, do you guys have any insights or can you share anything about what type of fun activities you might have to foster some of these conversations and fun outside of just the talks?
Yeah, we're so there are a lot of different things happening on the cruise. Like again, there is a there's rock climbing up top. I know they have daycare if kids want, if you want to drop your kids off, and they have actually kid activities happening. There's a bungee jumping thing at the top. There's a full pool, workout center, everything. One of the nights we're actually spending an entire day, I think until midnight, outside. So you'll be able to experience nightlife in the Bahamas. Every single night, there's also like a full-on show. So they'll do like magic shows, but they're full-on Broadway production shows. They're really cool. So sometimes they're musical, sometimes they're fun things like that. And then what else? We are planning little day trip excursions. So if you guys want to come with us, just basically come with like 30, 40, 50, whatever people and experience a little bit of it, or like go to a restaurant together. Those are the types of things we're planning. I think for the workshops as well, those will be intriguing because I know Sebastian is going to do something like build a robot. Lori was thinking about doing salsa dancing. Alyssa, I don't remember what you were planning on doing. You want to do salsa dancing?
Well, I mean, that was the first time I met him was it was like night or something, and there was music, and he was like, he came up to me and he was like, do you want to dance? And I didn't know who he was, and I was like, okay. And then I found out I am so clumsy, right? Like, so clumsy. And I found out later that he's not only a good dancer, but he's a freaking salsa instructor. I was so like, I really was mad at Shai actually after that because, Uri and Shai know each other. And I'm like, you got to prep a girl for that. You say, hey, by the way, don't dance with this guy. He's really, really good. So that's whenever you said that he's thinking about doing that, that's really exciting because he's very talented. So
we should make that mandatory. What about talks though? I mean, you all are talking. Like we have Alyssa, you're talking, Justin's talking, Gerard's giving a workshop, Joe's giving a workshop, Jeff is talking, Mike's talking.
Yeah. Actually, I was looking over the list of talks, and Frosty's talk about dynamically creating components, I believe it is, or creating components from within services looks very intriguing. Like outside of anything else, I think that's the talk that I'm most looking forward to. No offense to anybody here.
Yeah, that one looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't know. I haven't seen that list yet. Is this just on the NG Cruise website? Because
Absolutely.
yeah, whenever they
yeah, ngcruise.com.
Okay. Oh, I'm so excited! I didn't know he was doing that.
So that's a good question. Are you guys, I'm actually not going to the conference tier, but are you guys going to be recording this for others to be online, the talks and everything?
Yes, we will be. It's a bit of a tricky situation, but our videographer is going to roll with it. So see how that goes.
Is it tricky because of network or tricky because of?
Tricky because of the setup. Like you
boat.
Can't, it's like on a cruise, right? And they're using, anyways, let's just say I've learned the ins and outs of why videography is really hard.
We won't be streaming it though. So
no, we won't be
streamed.
My phone has a really good camera in worst case scenarios, so we can always have that as a fallback.
You can periscope it.
Yeah, exactly. Or is that the thing that's still? Is that the thing that just got shut down, or what was that?
That was Vine.
I'll Vine it.
Wait, Vine got shut down?
Oh, I'm sorry to be the one to tell you.
Are you being serious? Was that?
Yeah, let's
Is he playing with me? Is this like a Jeff Crossbeard haha moment?
I wish this was a joke. If it is, it's a big elaborate joke.
It's like a Twitter revenue model situation.
Jeff, we can use your camera to record outside of the talks, all of the ancillary
That's a good idea.
excursions and everything else, and then you can post those as well.
Mm-hmm. I'll do like Tracy, and I'll just get everyone to come into a room and do my own podcasts and things.
Last year at NGConf, Tracy was just like Snapchatting the whole thing. I'm like, what? Where is all this going?
Yes. And today I deleted Snapchat.
What?
Yeah. So somebody, well, it's totally fine. I mean, I don't know. Snapchat, is it private? Who knows? But somebody random added me and was like, loved this.javascript. And I was like, I think it's time.
Wow.
Like, who is this person? So, I mean, it's not a bad thing. It was just an excuse for me to delete something that probably was wasting my time. You guys have those situations happen all the time, right? Like random people adding you and talking about Angular, right? It's totally common.
Yes. Like,
Yeah.
daily. Yeah.
There you go.
I've only had like one of them be really, really bad though. So that's like awesome, right? Like out of the internets of people talking to me. That's really,
I
I thought it was
apologize.
good
Sorry.
odds.
Mike.
Coming from Jeff, who's the one who's spawned off into his own separate Twitter account for his facial hair.
That was not me. I don't know who runs that account. I think it's Tracy, but I haven't been able to confirm it.
See,
Again, is this like the Vine thing? Is this for real? He doesn't actually run that, or
no, he doesn't.
I don't know what to believe anymore.
I mean, it's funny because Jeff Crossbeard, like, Jeff, he tweeted it, and then he's like, give me your phone right now if it's not you. So I gave him my phone, and he's like, oh, a notification didn't pop up. I guess it's not you. I'm like, yeah, mine now.
And then I grabbed Ben Lesch's phone out of his pocket and tweeted again to Jeff Crossbeard, and I didn't see a notification on his phone. So, yeah, I'm still wondering who runs that account.
Is it like
I've hired a lawyer, so a lawyer's going to help me.
I was going to
get
say,
some
we're
honest-
web
just-
developers. Can't we figure this mystery out? There's got to be a way.
Yeah, you're working at tech forensics, right?
Well, by the way, Gerard is actually the one that built the entire site. So if you guys notice all the like detail he's put into the animations and things like that.
Even down to like the little images and like how, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but like the little boom box was next to like the speaker thing. And I was like, oh, nice touch. I don't know. I noticed things like that because it's a speaker and we're speakers. Like I just, hats off. It was beautiful and very attentive, like to detail. It was very cool.
I was just a little disappointed. I opened up the console and I didn't see any ASCII art.
Boom.
Ooh, Gerard called out for the ASCII.
Yes. Well, I'm working on the Easter egg. So yeah, there will be some surprises on the website. But anyway, the design is awesome. So we got actually Tracy is Lindsay just to name the full name. So it's Lindsay.
Lindsay IO is her Twitter handle, LINDSEYIO. She actually designs the Tomster.
Exactly.
Wow. Yeah. So bringing a little bit of that Ember Tomster love to NG Cruise.
Yeah, we have got the Ember touch. That's a really nice design. You can feel the fun, and you can see the little flip flops, the beach balls, and everything looks like a party, a small party in the beach. It's I like it very much.
Is this out on GitHub actually? If it's Angular, it would be pretty cool to kind of share that with other people.
Oh yeah, totally is. It's I think Tracy, it's in your. We create an organization, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just github.com/ngcruise.
Yeah, that's totally open.
I was just trying to figure out so I could figure out where to log bugs for you.
It's ng-cruise.
You mean send pull requests?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, if anybody wants to add Angular Universal, go ahead.
Oh yeah, we would love that.
You just gave me an idea because like I'm talking about animations. I'm kind of like the girl version of Matthias, but just not as cool because like he's doing the animations talk for ngConf and I'm doing the one on the. And I'm thinking I could just like do something crazy for like take the website and use it as my demo and do crazy fun things with it. I think I'm going to do this. Thank you for the inspiration.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, totally.
Submit those PRs.
And my favorite thing about the design is that I come before Victor Savkin in the speaker list because he always shows up before me on every conference website. So this is one thing I get to hold over him.
You're literally over him.
Mm-hmm.
Did you pull request that one?
I did.
We'll change it. No worries.
No, don't change anything.
Okay.
So this is built with Angular, right?
Oh no, we decided to go for what was that? What framework was? No, that was Angular for sure. Angular 2.
Let's talk about really quick what goes into that for building this thing for production, right? And you've got this kind of content site really that you're trying to serve up using Angular as your engine, but you also really need like SEO and all those other things. So what kind of things did you go through in terms of once you made that decision to use Angular for this site, other things you needed to have to do? Things like all the way down to maybe like share, like how you want to be able to share links so people tweet this thing out, like how do you have the content relative for that and stuff like that. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, the thing is, we wanted to use Angular, and at the time we were preparing the website, it was still, I think it was release candidate 5 around that time, and I used the Webpack starter from Angular class. So there are still some remnants code from that, and yeah, we went through a final and then the other changes. IoT was only included a month ago in Webpack starter. So yeah, it's still lagging a little bit behind. So you won't find some of the latest things. We could, there's still time. We could improve it and add some progressive web apps. That could be nice if you want to send a pull request. Yeah, that's all good.
Is there
There's no
anybody here that knows about progressive web apps?
I used one time.
Sorry, that was really loud.
That's a joke. Jeff is the world's expert on PWAs.
Oh,
On
thanks.
PWAs. Oh, yes. Wait, are you PWA talking or no?
I'm talking about mobile, so PWA-ish stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll just hunt you down. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we'll talk in the hallway.
Actually, Angular CLI used to have really good progressive web app support, but then when I was on paternity leave, Broccoli decided to remove it all.
Okay, we need to talk about this. I feel like this is an issue. Do you want to speak to that, Broccoli?
It is the right time.
If we're going to diverge from our talking about the cruise, I can talk about that if you'd like.
I
just want to understand why would you kill that? Why?
Why do you hate the mobile internet, Broccoli?
I think everybody should be tied to their desks, unless you're on a. It has something to do with Universal. Once Universal gets sorted out, then mobile will be coming back.
I didn't mean to actually make a point of that.
I know, but if I could explain, I just wanted to explain in 15 seconds. That was it.
Stop talking now, he's saying.
There were a lot of moving pieces that didn't quite align in order to get together in time for the stable release. And it was mostly Broccoli's fault.
Oh.
I can see
I'm okay
that.
with that.
We need puppy eyes.
Yeah, I mean, that totally makes sense. This makes sense.
Where's the puppy eyes, Broccoli?
I'm good. I'm good.
Wait, Justin, we have to ask you. Nobody knows what you're talking about.
It's a mystery. I don't know where you would ever find out what I'm talking about.
It's true.
Except maybe in
Or Twitter.
I'm going to be talking about the two different forms modules that Angular ships, and hopefully get some clarity on how you would pick one or the other, and what each one of them is good for. You got this forms module, you got the reactive forms module, and I think it might be the only thing in the Angular platform where there's like two choices. So hopefully you provide some clarity on that and use cases and kind of dive into that.
Wait, so Aishagel's giving a talk on VR. And I lately have been thinking about VR stuff. But do you guys know any cool, amazing projects with Angular and VR? Because I want all of it.
Funny that you ask. I'm actually talking about WebVR at ngConf. I'm actually working on a WebGL renderer for that, so it doesn't render DOM. It only renders WebGL in memory. And as part of my talk, I'll be talking about that, and also making a pretty cool demo, I think.
What hardware are you using?
Oculus Rift.
Okay, cool. Do you have a repo out there that we can play with?
It's not ready yet. I'll send it to you though. You can. I'll share it to you, but it's not ready for the public yet.
Pressure's on, Angie Panda.
You
Pressure's
still
on.
have to start. You still have to start, isn't it?
I was thinking if you like, since you're using Oculus, but like if it was something like cardboard, we could
Yeah.
have like a pre-workshop where we make our own cardboards.
Oh, that's cool.
Right? You got like the cardboard and the tape, and you kind of like who's got the best one, right? Like,
Well, I actually started off by doing them with cardboards, and I've got one over here, but you're kind of limited on what you can do, and your phone kind of just sounds like it's about to take off if you get a little crazy with it. So that's why I prefer the Rift, so my face doesn't melt.
Wait, does your phone have fans in it?
Wait, no, that's a really good point. I don't think I've ever heard my phone whir like my Xbox. No, I,
think they
don't
just
think so.
shut off.
But the
Another-
heat emanating from it.
Another thing that you can't do is you can't really do voice control with it. So like if you want to do voice dictation to like mess with your objects, it doesn't really handle that very well either.
So if I understand correctly, you're handing out Oculus Rifts to everyone in the crowd at ngConf?
No, that
I
they
cannot
told
wait
me
to get
do
my
that.
Rift.
Joe's like, hold on.
I don't know if you can fit one of those in the cannons. I mean, we could always
Awesome.
try. I don't know.
Awesome. We're gonna do a catapult instead of a cannon for those.
It's got a lot of glass, so I think it might actually break. But
It'll actually be a trebuchet.
We'll just get one of
That
the
you might
broken
just have-
Oculus Rifts. Get one of the broken Oculus Rifts, cannon it out, and be like, "Oh, sorry, it broke."
They have really good liability insurance at ngConf, so I don't think it's an issue.
Parachutes from the ceiling. That way it would like gently land your Oculus Rift to every person in the audience. See, this is why we're here for you, Panda. We're here for you.
Yeah, I mean,
And
last
it's
year we
also
were
like idea.
firing like fire arrows across the stage at people.
Yes,
That's crazy.
that did
Hey,
happen.
maybe they weren't on fire. They were more Nerf ones. I don't know.
I recall they were like real arrows and they were flaming. They lit them.
Yep.
I don't know. This is my memory though. So yeah.
That was
Yeah,
actually
I felt like it was like a scene from Braveheart or something. I mean, I was living it. It was amazing.
So who's speaking at ngConf? Is it Alyssa? You're speaking, I know. Jeff, you're speaking.
I'm giving 3 keynotes at ngConf, if I recall correctly.
You always got to one up me. You always
4.
got to one up me, Jeff.
4 keynotes.
4 keynotes.
Wait.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't count.
They're all at the bar across the street.
Yeah, that'll be great keynotes.
Meet Jeff at the Little America.
Open mic hour, right?
hmm
Who else?
I'm speaking.
Who?
Broccoli is.
I'm speaking, and surprisingly enough, I am not speaking about the CLI.
What?
I have.
What else
I
would
have
you have to talk about?
who approved that?
And Mike, you were very lucky that John submitted to talk about the CLI. Otherwise, it would have been you.
Wait,
Wait, Mike, you didn't
did
want
submit
to?
two. I submitted 2. I submitted a CLI talk and talk about directives.
Wait, who's speaking about the CLI? John?
Papa.
Oh, okay, got it.
I mean, he's given more of a talk about like building an app with the CLI. He's going to kind of walk through building an app. So it's not so much like the state of the CLI or anything like that.
But again, side conversations at a conference. If you have questions about the CLI, feel free to ask me, and I will direct you to the right person.
So at ngConf, we're actually creating.
Well, I am personally excited about Brocky expanding out and talking about different topics.
But if you are interested in hearing me
Apparently
talk about the CLI, though, I am talking about the CLI on NG Cruise.
I mean, if enough of us corner you, you're probably going to have to talk about it in the hallway at ngConf too. Like, let's just get honest here. Like,
We'll see.
You might get like
if you twist my arm.
Can I ask?
I will be giving a talk at NG as well.
Can I ask what the status is of making Webpack faster?
Sorry, what was that?
I don't work with Webpack at all. Webpack's pretty fast. So our build process has improved dramatically over the past few weeks for their reload story as you're doing development. So live reload, that has improved quite a bit thanks to the work of Hans. Apparently the muscle suit that he wore to the birthday party was appropriate. He's done some heroic things there. But yeah, we're always looking for ways to improve and make that a little bit faster and improve the experience.
So politically correct, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is.
I took my panelist hat off and I put my guest hat on real quick. So
he writes that every night and says that to himself before bed.
Yeah, so when's that dropping? When can we NPM install that?
Yarn.
I think he's pushing the bits right now.
I don't get to press that button.
Oh.
Yeah, security and everything. Soon.
Good answer.
Man,
I'm
you
very
press that button.
Right. I know.
So we have all the power we need. We're all waiting for Mike to do whatever he was doing.
No, I was taking a look to see if there was some discussion in Slack about release, possibly today.
Cool. All right, we got about we're nearing closer to the end of the show. Let's pitch this thing, man. Let's talk about why people need to be on this boat and really get into the details of that. I mean, I posted an article out there. I kind of wrote up. I feel pretty passionate about my excitement for. I'm lucky to be able to be a speaker at this conference, so I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to not only talk about my topic, but to engage with people from our community and really talk nonstop, 5 days Angular. Great event to do that and to just be a part of this discussion around Angular and the things that can come out of it in terms of engaging with these other people. So I'm definitely pumped for it.
I think there's an easy way to sum up why you should be at the cruise. It'll be good for your job, it'll be good for your tan, and it'll be good for your soul.
I agree with that. I'm looking forward to the soul part, definitely. I'm a big beach person, so I'm definitely game for that. Speaking of that, like, are we going to be able to, Brocky and I are hanging out at the pool in our board shorts, and there's a session we got to go get to. We just roll in our board shorts and
That's
t-shirt.
a really good question.
Or do we need to run back to our room and change, or what? How's that going down?
Are shoes required?
So the boat's big, but it's not that big. So if you do want to run back and change and do outfit changes, it's totally possible.
Is that your nice way of saying please put clothes on?
I think what Justin's getting at is, do we have to?
I feel like you probably would feel more comfortable doing so.
We'll also need to address this at the very beginning of the conference, but it'll probably be a matter of, so long as you're dressed conservatively, right? What's okay on deck is not necessarily okay in the conference room.
Ooh.
So if on deck you just bring the right stuff with you to throw on when you get into the conference room, right? Board shorts can be fine so long as they are reasonably modest board shorts, right? So, but a shirt is definitely going to be required.
All right, because I'm picturing Jeff here wearing board shorts, a dress shirt, and bow tie.
Well,
yeah, I appreciate it, Mike.
Jeff's got that beard, so we won't even be able to tell if he's wearing a shirt.
That's true.
I have to tell you that it was interesting that you guys brought that up, because it's something that Joe and I didn't think about till now. So it's really good to know that we will address this to make sure that everybody feels comfortable.
Right. Like
I
I would
think
say,
I'm fine.
Review session.
I
I'm
think
fine
we
with
will.
like. Oh, sorry.
We
Go.
will provide some Power Rangers outfits. If something is wrong, they will have to change just before entering. You know, it's okay.
I would be fine with speaking to an audience in bathing suits, but I don't know if everyone would be.
I'd be happy if they stayed awake for my talk.
I know, right? I'm like, if they're there, right? They're there.
good point.
All right, so Tracy, your travel game is like next level. So we need some advice from you. Like if I'm packing my suitcase, right, to go to this thing, I don't like to play dress up that much. So do I need to bring some clothes for like these shows you're talking about? Like if I'm going to the shows, do I need to kind of get sharp or whatnot? Or what do I need to pack in my suitcase to go to this conference?
So I wouldn't worry about it. Like if you just bring semi-casual clothes, or even if you just do jeans and a t-shirt, you are totally fine. You probably want a little bit of warmer clothing because it's going to be warm in May and we are going to be down in the Bahamas. So you probably want to bring, you know, things you can wear on deck and to like out at the pool or things like that. But honestly, like you can just wear anything. I mean, I wouldn't worry too much about bringing outfits or anything like that. Like it's pretty casual.
We will bring some banana outfits for sure.
Yes, and there will be
Like-
singing on stage.
Like banana the fruit or like a banana hammock?
Oh,
Banana
we'll see.
the fruit. Joe's like code of conduct.
Yeah,
No, but yeah.
that's a good point to talk. Let's finish up by talking about the code of conduct yet one more time. This will be the same kind of code of conduct you're going to see at ngConf, at any other conference, that it's going to be very strict. And even though, you'll probably see a lot more flip-flops at ngCruise than you'll see at ngConf, still things are going to be very, very professional, just like at any other conference. And anybody that has any other ideas should definitely get that out of their mind, because this is not a party conference. We're here to learn, right? But just as like if you've been to ngConf, you would say, oh my gosh, it was an amazing party, right? But there wasn't anything that you would say was unprofessional. And that's going to be the same thing at the cruise. It's going to be an awesomely fun time, but we're going to be learning a lot as well. So very strict code of conduct, things to keep in mind.
I think also, I mean, we've even just taken it to the point where if you sign up, you'll see that, you know, if there's any breach of code of conduct, you might be kicked off the boat and stuck in the Bahamas somewhere and might have to find your way back. So like we're really...
Or start a new life.
What?
Or start a new life in the Bahamas.
Yeah,
Call the Bahamas your home.
But yeah, I think it is that because, you know, I mean, at conferences, we want everybody to make sure they feel comfortable and like inclusive and things like that. And but again, like Royal Caribbean and this cruise ship and this route that we chose is specifically not one of those booze cruises. So it's, you know, like you get a sit-down meal and you get to order anything off the menu, and it comes to you in multiple courses. So just to get an idea of like the caliber of food, the white linen stuff, or you can, you know, there's a buffet as well, so you can eat almost like any time of the day or anything like that. I mean, there will be like pool stuff and things like that. But I mean, personally, for me, one of the reasons why I enjoyed going on the cruise was because I could do the cruise, and then at night I could just like hack and listen to jazz till 3 a.m. And like hide away. So they knew me as like the girl who's always on her laptop. But so I think we'll be seeing some of those and hopefully some really cool community collaboration during the hack sessions, and just like really organic things like broccoli merging some Angular CLI features.
Yeah, I'm really excited about like just the time I feel like that's built in for things like that, like to take it a little bit slower and to not have to rush from thing to thing to thing if you want to hang out and work on something with somebody you meet at the conference. I'm really excited about that. So.
Right.
And I'll say it's the code of conduct isn't just an organizer's thing that just the organizers care about. For myself, and I think all the other speakers, it's something we all care a lot about too, just for the, for everyone to have fun and feel safe and comfortable, and for the community to be healthy and all this kind of thing. So all of us are also on board with making sure that everyone's having a good time and not feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it's really come for the talks, stay for the collaboration, right?
It's
Yeah,
amazing,
well
right?
said.
I mean, conferences, and you meet these new people. For those who haven't gone on conferences, and those people that you meet that you actually do get to spend time and collaborate with, they're in your life for years, right? Like Austin, you and I met at NGConf.
I know, I can't get away from you. You're just like following me.
I know. We just like randomly sat down, and then I see you around in the community. Broccoli, I think we kind of knew each other, but we kind of met there. Joe, you and I met there for the first time at NGConf. Justin, where did we meet?
I think.
Oh, we met at a conference. We met at Angular U for the first time.
Oh wow.
Right?
Right.
And I think not only like tech discoveries, but just like friendship discoveries are cool too. Because I have friends now, and I was like struggling with my ADHD like last year or the year before, and I started talking to some people, and they came up to me, and they're like big names in the community, and they're just like, "Oh, hey, yeah, I have that. I take Adderall," and I was like, "Are you serious?" And they're like, "Yeah." And so it's cool because it was like outside of Angular stuff, but I actually made friends in the Angular community with struggles I was having, and we keep up because of that now. And so it's just, you never know what kind of like friendships or relationships will spawn out of it. And it's just so valuable, like literally for your, I love how you said your soul, but definitely for your career and just quality of life. It's so worth it.
Totally.
We're going to the Bahamas.
Are you trying to spell
All right,
it, or what were you trying to do there?
So where can people find more information, right? It's ngcruise.com, correct? And we still got tickets available. And how long are those tickets going to be available?
We have tickets available until I think the end, but tickets might be, the conference ticket will not be changing. However, the cruise prices may go up as we near, and it's completely not in our control at all. It's the cruise ship. So it's best to book early, like hopefully before March 1st, but try to get everybody on the cruise.
Sweet. Yes, please come. It's going to be an amazing event, and there's going to be a lot of good interaction, and yes, we want to see you there. All right, anybody got any picks as we wrap up?
I've got a few. Todd Motto is whipping it up. He rolled out a article that got featured in NG Newsletter today on Decorators Deep Dive. We were talking about that a little bit a couple weeks ago about decorators and Angular 2. So if you're interested in that convo, you should definitely check this out. Victor dropped a NG1, NG2 router upgrade kind of thingy that uses Angular 2's router, and you can do a hybrid upgrade. So that's pretty interesting for people that are trying to use NG upgrade. And then Injection.js, which is the Angular's dependency injection framework, was extracted. And if you're wanting to use that type of framework in things like Node or something like that, it's a really cool project.
Awesome. Thanks. Anybody else?
I'll plug my company, Narwhal. Victor Safkin and I started this company. We do a bunch of random things with Angular. We do consulting, but we also publish a bunch of resources and blog articles, and we have a book, and we're going to keep on doing that kind of stuff. So check us out at nrwl.io, like narwhal without any vowels and without the H, nrwl.io. And we've got lots of cool stuff there. And you can link to our blog and Twitter from there, which we also publish stuff to.
I'll plug this.javascript, which just happened this Saturday, last Saturday. It already has about 12,000 views. But if you want to hear the state of the different frameworks, like Angular, Mishko talked about Angular and what's coming up at RxJS. We had Dan Abramov talk about React. We had Evan Yu, who created Vue.js, talk about Vue.js. And then we had Rob Dotson talk about Polymer. And then we had Matthew Beal talk about Ember. So it was funny because the theme was rewrite. Everyone's rewriting everything these days. But yeah, it's a really cool thing. It's this.co/JavaScript, or you can just look on YouTube, probably this.javascript, and see the recording of that.
No more Angular rewrites for the record, though.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like, Kamisha was like, we have a lot of empathy for people who do rewrites.
Cool. All right. Anybody else?
I got one. I want people to start using the hashtag ngconf swag idea. So if you have any ideas of what you want people to give out for a swag at ngconf, what you'd want to receive, tweet it out.
So I just want to mention last week the Angular team announced the branding guidelines, the new branding guidelines, and I think that's something that it's been around for the last probably 2 months, and it was maybe more in the community when Igor Miner made the announcement of Angular 4 coming, and also giving some ideas around the same versioning, and I think we will go through this transition of naming Angular instead of Angular 2, and then Angular JS, and that's something that a lot of people is a little bit concerned, and we have seen it's just Angular hashtag, which is quite popular, and it's good to get the word out.
Cool. Definitely. All right. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for everybody that was on here. Let's list them down here. We got Alyssa, Austin, Gerard, Joe, Jeff, Mike, Tracy. Thanks for joining us. We look forward to people getting on the cruise, and we'll see you next week. See ya.
Thank you. Ciao.